I'm showing you how I make sushi today. This one does not have any seaweed or seafood or meat in it. Normally when I make it, I usually put pan-seared salmon in it. However, this one's more of our sandwich version where it just has carrots, cabbage, and red pepper. And it is super delicious, so I'm going to show you how I make it. First off, what you need is you need your nori sheets. And I have 2 cups of cooked rice with red bell pepper mixed in, as well as the sugar and vinegar that you typically put in sushi rice. And then I have julienned carrots and some shredded cabbage. And then these are some that I've already cut up. So, this is also our dipping sauce, but anyway, I am just going to show you how I make our sushi. So first off, what you're going to want to do is take your nori sheet, and I have a silicone baking mat underneath a piece of parchment. That way this is a little bit spongy, and when I cut it, it's not going to cut through the parchment onto the countertop. But you need your nori, and then what you're going to do is put as much rice as you want on it, but leave about an inch at the top where you don't put anything, because as you roll this, it's going to push the rice up, and you need a little section for it to seal shut. So I'm just going to put my rice on here. And 2 cups usually makes about 3 rolls for me, because we like pretty thick rice, but obviously not too thick. Alright, so what you're going to want to do is wet your hands, otherwise you're going to stick to this rice. So you just want to have damp hands, and you're going to press this onto your seaweed. This way you can see how much rice you need to add. You can take some away if you need to. So I'm just going to add some more to sections that are missing some, and my hands are still damp, so that works out perfectly. Alright, now I'm just going to wash my hands again. And next what we're going to do is we're going to put our carrot on here. And you just kind of want to put it in the middle of the rice that you put on. Oops. And then you're going to put some cabbage. You obviously do not want to overfill this, since we like so much rice. I don't put a ton of vegetables in here. When I put it with just salmon, I put a ton of salmon in the middle. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to pick up your parchment paper and pull this back a little bit, and you're just going to carefully roll it. And I make sure I tuck in the vegetables, and what you're going to do is you're going to slightly squeeze it to get everything tightly packed. And then you're going to pick up your piece of parchment and roll it again. You're going to squeeze it. And I squeeze it a few times just to make sure that it's really tight. And then you're going to do the same thing until it's completely closed. And then the next thing that I like to do is, not everybody likes doing this, but you see how there is this gap right here? I like to get it a little bit wet so that it closes properly. And then you can just close it like this. And then I'll wrap it back up, and I'll tuck the edges, and then just make sure everything is tightly packed once again. And you have a sushi roll. Looks like this. And then basically what you can do is I usually just wrap it in here for a couple minutes and I just leave it to sit and then I'll cut it. But it's perfectly fine if you just cut it right after you're done making it. So what you do is you want to wet your knife before every cut. That way it does not stick. And then you're just going to slowly and carefully let the knife cut through the sushi. And then what I like to do is I pull them apart so that they're not sticking together. Wet your knife before you cut again. Cut through, and I cut everything in half so it makes 8 rolls. So you cut in half, and then you cut that half in half, and then each of those quarter pieces in half again. And it creates the perfect even-sized pieces. So I'm just going to keep cutting. Oops. Alright, so now that it's completely cut, you have your sushi roll that now is completely cut up into gorgeous 8 pieces. And I just like to place them on a plate like this where you can see it. And then I'll put a bowl of the sauce in the middle. And like I said, this is the sauce that I like to make. I like to make a mustard sauce, and it is so delicious. So yeah, that is how I make our sandwich sushi. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will talk to you guys later.